Me into arguing with
We're
Kellen about
live,
Fire
guys.
Emblem again. Is that what this is? Hey guys, and welcome to I'm gonna argue with Kellen about Fire Emblem chat. With me today I have Lucas.
Yep.
And then I have Alex channeling the soul of Anichat into his body.
It's
Yep.
okay because Call of Duty destroys every game in history, so
You know they're going back to World War II with the new Call of Duty, and TFS was like, you know, maybe it's good that everyone goes back to World War II so that everyone can remember that Nazis are evil.
stop. Please. I hate that franchise with a passion.
I only have Call of Duty 3. Like OG Call of Duty 3. I never played it though. It was given to me as a present with an Xbox that didn't work. Okay, so all right, let me give some background. My mom is a massage therapist, right? She's also a real estate agent, right? So she's an independent contractor in both of those jobs, meaning people can give her stuff on top of the payments.
Yeah.
So one of her clients gave her her son's Xbox and then gave me a bunch of Xbox games, Jack and Daxter for the PS2 randomly, right? And then two Xbox 360 games, right? And the Xbox 360 games were Tomb Raider and Call of Duty 3, right? And so, you know, I go turn on the Xbox, and he must have been fiddling with the wires because the power button became the eject button, and the eject button was the power button.
What?
And
That's funny.
I was like, what is this nonsense? I played on it for like an hour, got pissed with the controls, and then put it away and never used it again.
Jack and Daxter is so good though. Anything like Naughty Dog makes, it's like really good.
Yeah, I just watched.
For the most part, yeah.
I just watched a playthrough of TFS plays all of Jack and Daxter, the first game. They're probably gonna do 2 and 3 later.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's funny how Jack had the whole like silent protagonist thing going on, and then all of a sudden in Jack 2 they just give him a voice and everything.
Well, he has a voice. When he dies, he screams in pain.
I'm just saying, it's like if it's like they just gave Link a voice actor.
Oh, you know what would be
It's
really
not as bad
freaking cool?
Because Link has been silent for like 20 years, so.
Okay, this is what I do if I was Nintendo. Like, randomly, in the middle of one of the games, Link just starts talking for one scene. Everyone stops and goes, "You can talk," and then for the rest of the game, he doesn't say anything.
My approach to it is that they should keep Link a silent protagonist, but they should let you hear his thoughts.
I got you.
I think that would be pretty interesting.
Have you played Golden Sun, Lucas?
No, Evan, not yet.
Okay.
Leave chat, go and play Golden Sun right now.
Okay. So Golden Sun has one of the most interesting silent protagonist response systems, right? So you know emojis before they were emojis. Essentially, they give you 4 emojis, and you can respond using these emojis.
You just do facial expressions.
Yes, right. And then characters will interpret your facial expressions as something like random, right? So your friend steals your dad's friend's jetpack, right? So like you respond with the angry emoji, and then your friend's dad goes, "Why are you getting pissed at me? He's the one who stole the jetpack." And it's like, that's not what I said, but okay. So, you can also be like, at the beginning of the story in the first game, is like, "Do you want to be a hero and go on a journey?" And you can just say no.
Yep.
It's funny because people actually don't realize this, but Link in a lot of Zelda games, he actually has a personality because they give you like when people ask you questions and stuff, they give you certain text to respond with, and some of Link's responses are like so mean.
Link is sassy. Link is sassy and mean.
He's incredibly sassy.
It's because he's pissed that he's always on a journey. He's being reincarnated constantly, and he's always on a journey to save the god, saying "God dang girl" over and over again, and he doesn't even get laid at the end. He just gets beat up by a pig man.
But
Am I wrong? Am I wrong though?
It's assumed that he got some in Zelda 2, but that's way back. way back in the day.
Also, that's like 50 reincarnations ago. So like, he doesn't even remember getting some.
I
Okay.
remember, I remember I had a debate with Kellen over what was it? It was composite Link, which is basically like every Link combined with all his weapons versus Hal Jordan, and New 52 Hal Jordan, which Kelly
Oh,
told
New
me.
52.
Yeah,
I
and
was gonna say, old Hal Jordan killed the entire Green Lantern Corps, killed the Guardians, became Parallax.
and I was like, I'm not sure about that because Link has incredible hacks. Like his
Here's
abilities
the
are so
thing, though.
broken.
I would argue, though, that all Green Lantern really has to do is just send him into orbit, because he can do that. He's done it before. In Injustice, the video game, he's fighting Solomon Grundy, and then he eventually, off-screen, he puts him in an orbit and throws him into orbit, comes back, and everyone's like, what the heck did you do with Solomon Grundy? And he's like, I put him in orbit. And the dudes were like, dude! And he's like, he's a zombie. He's gonna be fine.
I mean, he could do that, but Link has teleportation with numerous items. So
does he. That's the whole thing. He also can warp him into the sun. Green Lantern has warping capabilities and warp other people in the sun. I can't believe Kelly didn't bring that up. Because, like, his warping is massively freaking faster than light, and he can travel across the freaking galaxy, even in New 52.
Okay, I'm gonna level with you. Pretty much every comic character that's more than just, like, peak human or slightly superhuman could probably beat Link.
Because that's the thing, though. Because Link can do OP stuff. It's just that he's always been restricted by the fact that he's just a Hylian that's trained. Because remember in Twilight Princess, you're on a horse, and then the dude who gives you the mail blitzes you and your horse, and Link is like, what the crap? And he looks at the dude, and the dude's like, don't run away, I have your mail.
You can't use the mailman as a yeah, the mailman is hypersonic, bro. It's faster than light.
The mail dude is almost instantaneous from the moment he's on the screen. He's at you, and Link is like, what?
he would blitz Sonic in an instant, like you don't even know.
I like how he just runs so fast that the goblins can't catch him, so they just don't try. He's just like, dum, 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 dum. He's out running horses and chariots and crap. And I'm like, why aren't we sending this guy to, like, fight monsters by just, like, running so fast, punching them with the momentum, and then keep running? Oh my goodness.
No, but the counteract the blitzing thing, it's funny because like Link dodges, and I'm gonna say that Zelda is probably inconsistent because it's a video game, but
Yes.
Oh, it's absolutely inconsistent. But you know, it doesn't mean that Link doesn't have consistent feats that are like above peak human without using magic items, right?
No, but that was.
And I mean, you can't count Hyrule Warriors because that entire game is not canon.
But that was the point with the discussion because he had access to all of his abilities throughout all those other games, and that included what was it? Nairu's Love, which is it basically makes him invincible. Like it gives him like a force field over it, and nothing could hurt him. I'm not sure how that would fare. Like if he's in the middle of the sun, but because he has to have magic to use it.
Okay, so the reason I bring up that, like, the fact that Green Lanterns in New 52 can teleport to the sun is because there's something that Red Lantern Supergirl just does. She's, like, traveling across the universe, right? And then this is a really good feat for Supergirl. Like, so, anyways, she's fighting some dude. He has her inhale, like, kryptonite gas, so she teleports them into the sun and then blows both of them up. And then it's just like, I got a buff from the sun, and the other dude just gets melted, and I'm like, same, Supergirl. Same. Because she had to, like, use her ring because freaking the kryptonite gas was taking away her other powers. It was like, that's savage. I was like, also, Kryptonians can get by so, like, anyone doesn't know, if you take off a red ring, you instantly die because the way red rings work is they fill your blood with molten plasma, and then all your regular blood gets exited out of you, so the moment you take off the ring, it hardens and you die of a heart attack instantly.
Yeah, it was funny because I feel like Kelly was just like calling me a wank and everything, and I was like, okay, can you like show me feats? And like the best.
I can go get the comic where Supergirl does that. I have it. I own it.
I'm talking about like for Green Lantern, but the best feat he showed me was like a star level feat, and I'm like, okay, I just told you before that that Link in Fierce Deity mode is considered star level because of this and that reason. And then he was like, "You're a wank," and he like never really showed me any other feats.
Here's the thing about feats, though. I'm just like, because people don't believe you when you show them to you, and then when you don't have them, they still don't believe you anyways. Because, like, okay. I remember.
Okay. I have a question, right? You know how Blue Lanterns can like subdue people's emotions using the emotional spectrum?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Red Lanterns are
exactly
ineffective.
How powerful is that? Because like I know in the past, like Blue Lanterns have used their powers to like remove Red Lantern rings from people and stuff.
Yes, that's the alternative way of having your ring removed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I mean,
okay, but here's the thing. Even without the ring removal, they can completely negate other Spectrum's powers. But here's the thing about Blue Lanterns, though. Their constructs aren't as powerful as every single other version of the emotional spectrum.
Okay.
So, while they're really good with... Because, alright, so when you have a Blue Lantern, they can buff things that have to do with hope, right? So they can buff willpower, because hope gives you willpower, and willpower can give you hope. And vice versa, right? So they get a buff when those two are together.
Quick question.
Okay.
Does this mean Link can become a lantern?
Yes, anyone can become a lantern. Okay, so, right? Because he's got the Triforce. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So, if I recall correctly, I believe that Blue and Yellow have an interesting interaction as that they weaken each other.
Okay, so
because fear and hope are complete opposites.
So what you're saying is like Saint Walker couldn't go to Yellow Lantern Batman and be like, "I'm gonna remove your ring, man."
Yes, if they were going to do that, I think they require a backup from like Green Lantern if they were going to do that, because Green Lantern, while weak to Yellow, can also resist Yellow by having enough willpower to just not be fearful. And if they had a Blue Lantern there, Yellow would be neutralized because it'd be too busy trying to combat Blue to focus on the Green.
Okay.
Unless it's Sinestro and the Blue is a rando dude and like the Green is a rando dude, because then Sinestro would just kill both of them because he's Sinestro.
Sounds about right.
So, if I recall correctly, I don't think Blue has a direct negative interaction on love, because love is a very powerful one, and love can, I think, negate Red Lanterns as well, if I'm recalling correctly.
You don't know how gay that sounds.
Well, what's his face? The Alan Scott in New 52 is gay. He's a Green Lantern.
No, I'm not talking about like homosexual. I'm just talking about like that sounds so corny.
Okay. All right.
Love
so
like negates all. That's some.
I'm pretty sure red can be negated entirely by blue and pink. Orange is greed. Orange, I do not believe, can be negated by anything. And orange lanterns are interesting because originally there was an orange lantern corps, and then Larfreeze and all of them got really greedy from the greed and killed everyone, and Larfreeze is the only one left, making him the strongest single lantern aside from, like, Ion. And that's because Ion is a concept and can be in multiple places at once and freaking, like, massively travel massively faster than light and crap, right?
Okay.
So, like, Larfreeze has like soloed the Green Lanterns, the Red Lanterns, the Yellow Lanterns, and like a bunch of other lanterns because he's greedy, and because he always has the orange power core on his hand, so he just has limitless power. So I think Orange is the odd man out, as it has no interactions that I can think of. However, Orange tempts every single other version of the Lanterns to put on an orange ring, regardless of what they are. So, like, if you're in range of an orange ring, you'll want to put it on no matter what your thing is. But I think Green can resist it more because they have willpower.
Okay.
Essentially, it's like Pokemon elements.
I was gonna say that. Like, this sounds really Pokemon-like.
So, yeah, essentially it's like Pokemon is the best way I can explain it. You see, I don't read too much Green Lantern, but I watch the cartoon, I read up on stuff, and I know stuff from the Justice League. So, like, that's why I say if I recall correctly, because there's certain things I know I am getting somewhat wrong. But I'm pretty sure this is how it interacts, and in the cartoon, which was CG, which is why people didn't like it, because it was, like, not 2D, because DC was experimenting with stuff that wasn't 2D for a while.
Yep.
That cartoon was actually, it then stopped because, like, they're like, ugh, people don't like CGI, oh my gosh. And then, they had to cut Beware the Bat, they had to cut that Green Lantern show.
I wish Japan would take that.
Well, Marvel did the same thing, but they did it after DC did it, and we're like, no, we're going to keep it there. And I'm like, Marvel, please, no, stop that.
Because
choose a studio.
That Berserk anime is crap.
That's because I think it's because with the recent resurgence of popularity of Ruby, because Ruby got a Japanese dub in Japan and got popular, and that reinterests the thing in CG. Here's the thing about Ruby. Ruby did it because it's cheap, and they're a web series. Berserk is an official anime. It doesn't need CGI.
Yeah.
But I'm not even joking when I say this. The fight scenes in Ruby are sometimes more fluid than they are in Berserk.
Yes, I know. I've seen the Berserk stuff, and Berserk keeps getting seasons because people watch it anyways, even though they hate it.
Because it's a really good series, but I don't watch that crap.
So, yeah, with animation studios. Oh, this is a perfect segue, anyways. With animation studios, a lot of times they'll experiment with animation, and depending on how the audience responds, they'll either be like, maybe we should try again, or maybe let's not do that because, they hate us. DC studios have been pretty good about being like, oh, let's not do that because they hate us.
Imagine if they made Dragon Ball Super, like when Dragon Ball Super was first coming out, they made it just CG.
Well, hey, if it looked like the new Dragon Ball Z fighter game...
if it did look like fighters, that'd be a different story.
Yeah, actually, I agree with you there.
Because, that'd be fine. It would clearly be them just cutting corners, but, live Dragon Ball Super doesn't even have, the best animation I've ever seen anyway.
It's gotten more consistent over time, thank God.
Dragon Ball Super just, on average, has bad animation.
Yes. But at the beginning, what they were doing with Toei was, they're like, hey, everyone's already seen these arcs, let's give new animators a try. And the new animators were horrible because Toei is El Cheapo.
I don't know why. They're making so much money.
Someone needs to take stuff away from Toei. It's like, no, Toei. Bad Toei. Go sit in a corner. You'll get this back when you know how to animate things.
They have Dragon Ball Super, which makes a ton of money, and then they have One Piece, which makes all the money. So
don't forget, they also animate Sailor Moon stuff, right? They also get money for anything, including Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, and Sailor Moon. They also own Toriko. They owned Zatch Bell in the past. They own the rights to Yu-Gi-Oh.
I don't think Zatch, but Toriko was that big though as an anime.
Yeah, but it still made money enough to make a crossover. But also keep in mind, true. They still own Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh. They own Sailor Moon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z, and One Piece. That's like fanboys' wet dreams in Japan. Are you kidding me? They have money there. What they're doing with it escapes me. Because, I was like, so your new animators suck more than your old animators. What are you doing? Essentially is what I'm getting at. So this is now where we talk about the manga industry. I recently watched a video by James Hansen, and I'm going to use him as my source. Well, anyways, there was an interview with the editor of Shonen Jump, everyone's favorite editor who keeps axing everything. Right? Okay, it should be noted that he was also a regular editor at first. Now he's the chief editor. And as a regular editor, he used to do Naruto off the top of my head. Right? There's he did 3 other series, but I don't care about the 3 other series. Okay, right? So this is what the information we got from the video was. Is according to a translator, stuff is ranked on their website by usage of the app. Shonen Jump has an app, and this is how they rate things. By viewers and by... Actually, let me rephrase that. By male viewers and how old they are. That is how it's ranked. Okay. Here's the thing, though. The rankings are not based on physical manga sales. They're only based on digital. So, yeah, it gets worse. So, there's a lot of shows that were doing poorly on the digital, and then they're like, okay, let's cut it because manga sales take too long to get info back. Right? So are you starting to see the flaws in why Shonen Jump just kills things? Right, yeah. Okay. Alright, so here's the thing. Things that are bad get put at the back of the magazine, right? Things that are not popular. But why would you do that? You should put the good things at the end of the magazine so people have to flip through the trash, meaning that eventually they'll read it, right?
Yep.
Shonen Jump doesn't do that. Shonen Jump randomly likes to put all the popular stuff in the front, and then maybe put 1 or 2 good series in the middle, and then it's nah, the non-popular ones right before they get axed, get put in the back, right? Here's the thing about axing. They revealed that an editor cannot force someone to stop writing. But here's the bullcrap on that. They also said that they cannot force them to write anything that they don't want to. Right? So, here's what Masashi Kishimoto said. He said when he was finishing Naruto, they were pressuring him to make more Naruto. So essentially what Shonen Jump really meant to say was, we can't make you do anything, but we're going to make you miserable while we ask you to do something.
Well,
right?
that's a load of BS anyway, because they, what was it? Bakuman or whatever. I literally said that sometimes if you don't comply with the editors, they can refuse to not publish your work.
Yes. This is why Shonen Jump's full of crap. Okay? Okay. So, yeah. So basically, they're like, we just strongly suggest you listen to us. That's what editors were saying, right? They were being mobster as crap, might I add, with that. So this is how they claim that when you get axed works. So the editors will come to you and say, we see that your sales aren't doing well. I think we think that you should probably end your series. You have 5 weeks to end your series. I kid you not. They said that they give you 5 weeks notice to wrap it up. And I'm like, that's 4 chapters. Really? So that makes me think when Bleach was like, we have 5 chapters left, when everyone was like, what do you mean we have 5 chapters left?
Yeah.
I think the editor team came to him and was like, oh, you have 5 chapters because your sales aren't doing too well.
If I was Koopa, I'd be pissed.
Right? So, the writer for Assassination Classroom also revealed that Shonen Jump came to him and said, we don't want you to finish Assassination Classroom. Please continue. And he's like, no, you're full of crap. I'm ending it here. Assassination Classroom is friends with Kubo, which is why I'm pretty sure he did that interview knowing that Shonen Jump was full of garbage with Kubo. Because, yeah. So, basically, what Shonen Jump needs to do is calm the crap down, because nowhere in the translations that we got does it talk about how you could potentially continue your series if you started doing well during the last 5 chapters. And that's only if you're weekly. If you have 5 weeks to do something in your monthly, that's one thing you have time to do.
Yeah.
So
That's when you just start writing like your freaking weekly and just have like 6 chapters that you submit to be published.
I feel especially bad for the Toriko author because he had like I'm pretty sure he had years worth
tons
of
of stuff
content
planned. Yeah.
because there was so much stuff that there was they were going to explore in Toriko, and then it's like, wait, Toriko's ending? What the hell?
Okay. So here's a fun little story about Toriko. So when Toriko was first made, they were scared that since Toriko kind of looks ugly, that it wouldn't sell well because he's like 90s anime style protagonist.
Yeah.
And so what they did was they had him write 2 full volumes worth of content and then release it at the same time because they were scared that like if they released 1 volume at one time, it wouldn't sell enough.
Yeah.
It sold out almost instantly the first 2 volumes, and that's how he got his good start. So
I mean,
like right off the bat,
Toriko's been like the first main character in that I can remember from Shonen Jump that has started out as an adult.
I believe it.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
What I was
I
gonna
think
say,
the last person is probably, I would say, Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star that I can remember.
Yeah, Kenshiro is pretty old. Which means that, like, since the beginning, Shonen Jump had no faith in Toriko. I gotta think.
Yeah,
Oh, continue.
go on. Oh,
I
I was gonna say, Toriko's just a weird, a weird series in general.
It's about a giant Earth, giant monsters. There's needles that go faster than the speed of light. There's food. By the way, everything I'm saying is true.
It's like they're like OP chefs. Like at least
Yes.
Shigeki no Soma, Food Wars. At least that's centered around cooking. Toriko is cooking plus we fight giant monsters because.
Yes. I was gonna say something. Oh, yes. Also, Shonen Jump also had no faith in Bleach from the get-go. They told Kubo that they weren't gonna run Bleach until Akira Toriyama said let him write what he wants.
Well, that was because
he wrote a letter.
That was because they said it was ripping off Yu Yu Hakusho.
I don't even think it's that similar post, like the beginning though.
It's not.
It's not even similar in the beginning.
I could see why, like,
I mean,
somewhat why,
apart
because
from the fact that it's like, oh, spirits fighting demons.
I mean, well, no, but both
that similar.
both their jobs are to hunt down spirits and beat them up.
Well, but that's not even like a new concept. That's the whole thing. Like a lot of series have done that.
Yeah,
before.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I'm not mad at you. I'm just saying. Shonen Jump, please.
And Ichigo and Yusuke Urameshi, the main character of Yu Yu Hakusho, they're very similar in their personalities, at least at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
They're both like anti-heroes that don't really take anybody's crap and just like, have that attitude that like
poor Kubo just always having Ichigo get punched in the face. he gets every arc just right in the face. But also, so this is a side note. This is unrelated, but in the death battle community, this one guy said to me, Ichigo can't fight Luffy because Ichigo's not melee.
It's not what?
It's not melee.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
In fact, Ichigo has the advantage in that because
Luffy has a sword.
Luffy has better feats.
Luffy can't.
He has a bladed weapon.
The blade.
Luffy's weakness is like sharp objects. So.
Yes. Also, it should be pointed out that apparently Oda said that, like, oh yeah, if Eneru was on Earth, he'd have like one of the highest bounties ever because he'd be broken as crap because he wouldn't be as weak as he is in Skypiea because he can breathe.
And I don't know, vaporized in the island in Skypiea.
Yeah, but remember the air is like the 10th as thick there. So
Yeah.
remember when at the beginning of the arc, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji almost have heart attacks at the beginning because they pass out because they're like, "Oh my god, I can't breathe."
I mean, NL. The only
Also,
reason why NL lost is because of rubber power. So
yes, you know he did a Rock Lee in that fight where he's like, "If I don't think, I can fight him."
yeah, he became like mentally ill for like a couple of minutes. I remember.
Okay. On a side note of Luffy being stupid, just remember Goku's stupid because he fell off a cliff and hit his head on a jagged rock. That's a thing. Remember, Goku has serious brain trauma.
That's true.
Um,
He got that rock messed him up so bad he forgot his reason for being.
yes, being sent to a planet to kill everyone. It messed him up so bad that he's like almost on the spectrum in normal stuff, but then like uh actually somewhat intelligent in combat stuff, right? All right, so back to what Shonen Jump is doing. I think Shonen Jump needs to slow the crap down on what it's doing
Yeah.
and just really think about what they're cutting first, right? Because they cut like Nisekoi, Toriko, and Bleach at the same time, and I'm like, that sounds like a lot of money you just lost. And you know what they did? They lost a lot of money because right there
It's
you
true.
cut you cut the waifu war right out of your freaking comic, right? You
Yeah.
cut that out, and then you cut out the food fetish stuff with giant monsters and muscles, right? People love food, people love muscles, and people love monsters. That's just a thing people tend to enjoy, right? And then you cut
Yeah.
out Bleach, and Bleach also has boobs, monsters, and muscles. Again, they were just cutting out stuff. And I'm like, isn't that
I,
stuff people like?
I think you found the formula to make a successful series. Just have boobs, monsters, and
Oh,
muscles,
muscles.
and then you there you go.
That might be the actually the format for making successful manga. You might be right about that.
Well, low key, who does Bleach not appeal to?
I don't have
I
an
mean, I
answer for
guess
that
it's
because they
not
have
that
like
funny, but I mean,
Other
apart from that,
other than Kiyoya, I've never seen anybody dislike Bleach from the start.
Kyoya has recently lightened up on Bleach too.
Yeah, I know because he's actually taking the time to read the entire manga. But
Yeah,
like years ago, he used to talk so much junk about Bleach, and I don't think
remember when?
he watched even to Soul Society. So I was like, okay,
I
whatever.
remember back when he was like, "I need something to watch besides Naruto," but like Naruto, and was like, "Why don't you just watch Bleach?" And he's like, "Ugh," and I was like, "Oh, you know who else said that to me? My friend Corey back in 8th grade." And this was back when, so this was like when Bleach in the manga right before Fullbringer, right? So I was in 8th grade. This is like 5 years ago. No, I was in 7th grade. Take that back. I was like 6 years ago, right? So, um, I was talking to him, and I got him into Naruto, and I said, "So do you want something like kind of similar but different?" And he's like, "Yeah, but I think I'm good with Naruto." I was like, "Just check out Bleach." And he was like, "No," and I wore him down for a week, and then over the weekend he binged to the Soul Society, and then on Monday he was screaming to me about how much he loved Bleach. And I was just like, "Yeah, calm down."
Well, after Soul Society, everybody loved Bleach. Everybody's
Yes.
like, this is that shit, yo. I
Uh.
don't know why I said
But
that. It's
TFS, Team Four Star.
yeah.
No one on Team Four Star has like watched Bleach really. They watched Bleach in like the background up until a Ronkar saga, and were like, and then stopped watching it. So they had no idea who Orihime, whether Orihime was Rangiku or Rangiku was Orihime. They also didn't remember Rangiku's name, and they called Toshiro Ice Hiei. They called Renji the Yamcha of Bleach.
That's pretty accurate though.
I forgot that Yamcha beat people in OG Dragon Ball, though. I forgot that he was a legitimate character in OG Dragon Ball.
Yeah, OG Dragon Ball, Yamcha was beast. He had Rule Fang Fist and all that crap.
He he actually beat up people. That was a thing back in Dragon Ball. And I was watching old Dragon Ball fights. It's like, oh yeah, that's why we all liked Yamcha back then. Whoops, that slipped my mind.
Toshiro's just sad though because for the majority of Bleach, all he does is hold L's.
You know what's funny though is he beat Hollybell because he one-shot her with his ice thing, right? And then it just goes down the drain in the next 10 seconds because that stupid bastard screams and breaks her out of the ice. And I was like, are you gonna take away Toshiro's singular W? No. He deserved that win. He was like, he went full power and she wasn't expecting it, right? And, he's like, haha, that's what you get for being cocky. Now I gotta, rest because he's like 12. And then freaking the artificial Arankar shows up and breaks her out. And I'm like, poor Toshiro. He just, oh my gosh. Can't win. Keeps stabbing his best friend. Keeps stabbing her.
It's funny because people love Kakashi. And I'm like, you realize Kakashi has never won a fight besides Zabuza.
It always gets interrupted or he loses.
Yeah, granted, I make the excuse for Kakashi that he's always being pit up against the top tiers of Naruto, so it's not really fair.
Yeah, well, low-key, can we talk about how I think he would kill Tsunade in like 2 seconds, but they still made Tsunade Hokage? Like, the only jutsu she has on him is summoning giant slugs, but I think he would speed blitz her with freaking Lightning Blade.
Yeah.
All she has is taijutsu. In fact, Kabuto, who is
the 100
the healing
thing, yeah.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, they wouldn't be fighting to kill each other, they'd be fighting over Hokage, right? But Kakashi's lazy, so is Jiraiya, so they gave it to Tsunade. And here's another thing though. Kabuto solo Jiraiya, Shizune, Naruto, and Tsunade with minimal assistance from Orochimaru, given that, Jiraiya had just been drugged. But that's still 4 people. And Kakashi was stronger than Kabuto.
Tsunade just sucks.
Like...
So not to interrupt, but I just messaged Kiyoya and I was like, hey, any chat's going on or whatever. And he's like, when does it start? And I'm like, now.
I told him any chat was happening.
So he'll probably join in like maybe a couple minutes. But go on. What's your point?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure everyone will agree with me that Kakashi should have been Hokage in the first place. Anyone disagree in this call?
No, but he was Kakashi. He was Hokage. He was just Hokage for like a chapter, though.
Yes. He finally got Hokage.
I distinctly remember right before they made Tsunade Hokage, Kakashi's like, please don't have them make me Hokage. I don't want to be Hokage. Yes.
He says that. He does say it. He says it multiple times throughout the series whenever they're looking for Hokage. And I don't blame him, but...
Does anybody remember how Kame tried to make Goku the Guardian of the Earth?
Yes. In TFS, they pointed that out because when Kame's like, I can't leave my post, Piccolo's like, really? The first thing you tried to do was give it to Goku and then leave.
Oh, my. Goku as a Guardian of Earth, that would be awful.
Yes, because he'd have to stay at the lookout, and then he'd have to warn Yamcha, Krillin, and Tien to fight the evil. and then he'd be like, I'm not going to intervene, and then Yamcha, Krillin, and Tien would just die.
Well, there's Vegeta. But yeah, he probably died too.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so this is off topic, guys. But in Dragon Ball Fusions, Yamcha and Vegeta can fuse, right?
That sounds horrible.
And it's actually a really interesting, cool fusion. They have cool moves, right?
Yeah.
But I'm 90% sure Yamcha is dominant in the fusion. Because let's hear me out. They use his costume for like the basis for it's like Vegito fusion costume. You know how
Yeah.
Vegeta's like more like Vegeta's?
Yeah.
Well, his is more like Yamcha's. Yamcha's hair is the dominant hairstyle, right? He also uses Yamcha's fighting style, right? So like in a lot of the moves, Yamcha's the one talking. So I'm thinking, man, in that fused consciousness, Vegeta must be just screaming 24/7 because he hates Yamcha and Hercule a lot. A lot.
When I go to sleep tonight, I'm gonna have nightmares about Yamcha and Vegeta fusing.
Oh, also, it should be noted that whenever I fuse them, they always get attacked instantly by everyone. Every single freaking person tries to kill them. And I'm like, is there like some hidden code where if I put Yamcha with Vegeta, everyone wants to just kill him?
On the subject of Dragon Ball, though, who do you guys want to be in Dragon Ball Fighters?
Alex, last Dragon Ball Z game you played was Budokai, right?
Budokai Tenkaichi 2.
Okay. Yeah, you jumped out right before the non-canon garbage stuff got in there.
Good.
Right before. Right before.
No, because there's Budokai Tenkaichi 3, which I think is the best Dragon Ball Z game. But
I didn't like the fact that there was so much GT in it. Because GT was just airing, and there was a lot of GT in that game. Way too much. Okay, here's my main complaint with fighters right now. 18 has 17 as a support. 17 isn't his own character. First of all, hear me out. 17 versus Piccolo is a way better fight than 18 has ever had in her entire series, in her entire appearance as a character, and she has more fights than him. Like, she actually does stuff in the Buu Saga. 17 doesn't. 17 has way better fights in every single one of his fights than 18 has ever had ever, right? But he gets...
Even that scene when he threatened a guy with a shotgun was a better fight than any fight 18's ever had.
Yes. For her fight versus Vegeta, all it was her jumping away while Vegeta kills people by accident, right?
Yep.
And then breaking his arm. That's the whole fight. Like, I've seen it twice. I know that fight. It's like... Because she's just playing with him, of course, right?
Yeah.
She doesn't get an equal opponent until Goten and Trunks. But they're cheating, they're children, and, she's not going full power, they're not going full power, and it's a bad fight. It's just them punching.
Yep.
And then she fights Hercule. Sorry, I have to realign my I am not salty. Okay.
Yeah, if Hercule gets hit, but 17 doesn't, I'm gonna scream.
Okay, also, listen to this, guys, just to add injury to insult. So, since it has, like, Marvel vs. Capcom, like, levels of bars, so you can, like, use different ultimates.
Yeah.
Since it's a teams of 3, if you choose 18 and Krillin replaces 17 in her ultimates.
Rip 17.
Do you know what that means? 17's role in that game is so generic, he can be replaced by a normal human who is half his height and bald.
I feel like they probably will add 17 at some point because of his popularity in Super.
Yes, here's what I think they will do. In Injustice 2, the Premier skins?
Yeah.
I think they'll do that, but with 18. So what they'll do is they'll reverse it so she's the support. That's my hope. But here's the thing also. Krillin was revealed, but Tien and Yamcha weren't. And I'm like, so what is every time Tien is like soloed someone not relevant? I mean, he fought Nappa, and he freaking tri-beamed Sill. And I'm sorry, I'm getting salty again. He saved Gohan from Boo, which even Goku didn't do and let his son get eaten. Let's remember that. Because that happens. So basically, Tien is getting the big old shaft so far based on video release, but you know who else is in that game? 16. 16 had 2 fights and they got his head stomped on. 16 didn't deserve that, but he's had 2 fights he has been considered in most games as negligible story-wise, which is why in Xenoverse 1, he's not even there. So they're also adding clones.
Yeah, I figured most fighting games at least has a couple of clones.
So what it seems like they're going to be doing is they're going to be giving Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, Vegeta, and Goku clones, right? That's what was released. And based on popularity of Super Saiyan 4, what they'll probably do is just give them another set of clones, but Super Saiyan 4.
Ew.
Yes, I know.
I don't want that shit. The two characters I really want are Hit and Goku Black. Fuck Zamasu.
I could see Goku Black and Zamasu as dual characters. That would actually work because fight together. They fight together more than 17 and 18 did. Only future 17 and 18 fought together. Like regular 18 and 17 didn't. They just fought separately because they didn't have to fight together. And this, I think, will be the first game where just no one in the Ginyu Force is involved in a fighting game. And I'm just like, rip the Ginyu Force, I guess. Like, what I assume they'll do is they'll release Ginyu, and then, like, in his ultimates, the other Ginyu Force members will come in.
Ginyu sounds hacks because, like, what if one of his abilities is like the body change, and he takes basically he switches like health bars with you.
Okay. So speaking of that is a move in Xenoverse 2 and Xenoverse 1. You can use it. In Dragon Ball Fusion, since it's a turn-based game, that move is busted bullcrap. Do you know what they do? They put the weakest unit with body change, right?
Yeah.
And they'll go and attack you. And even if you block the attack, you can still get body changed, right? So they'll just throw randomly their weakest unit with body change into situations that will obviously get them hurt, right? And then they sneak up and are like, "Hey, is that your strongest character?" And you're like, "Oh God, please don't, please stop." And then they'll body change your strongest character, take your strongest character, kill the person they body changed with, and then nuke your team.
Wow.
And it's like, that needs to be removed this instant. Do it right now. Please take that out of the game. Because, like, 3 characters can learn that move, and it's so toxic. Because you see them on someone's team, and you're like, oh God, I know what they're going to do.
Oh, I don't think I've ever addressed this before. So, how do all of you feel about the Naruto Xenoverse game, basically, that's coming out, Shinobi Striker?
Okay. Me and Alex had a conversation with this in an Anichat 2 weeks ago. Alex, would you like to state your opinion first?
Okay, so no one's gonna play anything but Sharingan, period. Like, it'll be 95% of the game are gonna be ranged attackers because that gives them Sharingan abilities.
Yep.
That also gives you Chidori for some reason.
Yep.
It doesn't make sense.
That's a ranged attack. It's only a ranged attack in Shippuden, and the only time he uses this as a ranged attack is when he uses Chidori needles, and that's the worst version of Chidori.
I think pretty much the reason why that is because Sasuke is a ranged fighter, but they have to give him Chidori.
Yes.
So it's like, screw it, Chidori's a ranged attack now, for some reason.
So, yep. My opinions are slightly similar to Alex's, except my thing is, where the heck is part 1, you bastards?
Oh, same.
So, supposedly there's like, you can make like over like 500,000 different combinations with like styles and jutsus. I'm talking about wardrobe styles and jutsus or whatever. And I'm like,
here's my thing about this.
That sounds way too much.
That's too much, yes, and there'll probably be a lot of recolors. That should be noted. There'll probably be a lot of the same costumes, because there's not nearly that many costumes in Naruto, I guarantee you right now. Because, like, most villages wear the same exact stuff with, like, slight differences. Look at any village. Just any village.
What I think they mean is that you could put together different, like, different headbands with different shirts, and you'll get, like, over 500,000 different combinations with that. But, yeah.
Okay. But here's the thing. I would take part 1 over Boruto in 10 seconds flat. Maybe even less. They'd be like, so do you want Boruto or part 1? And I'd be like, part 1, throw Boruto in the garbage. Please, please continue. I don't care about Boruto. We can just ignore that. Like, you can take Sarada and put her in the game. I don't care, but please continue with part 1. The reason they're doing that, though, is because unlike Xenoverse, it's not time travel. So they can't just be like, well, there's Kid Naruto here. Even though time travel is totally a thing in not Bleach. It is a thing in Bleach, but it is also a thing in Naruto because these aliens can travel through space and time.
But there's already a time paradox because they have Teenage Naruto, Boruto.
Yep. Meaning, you know what they're saying? F you to anyone who liked part 1. If you squint hard enough, maybe you can pretend that Boruto is Naruto. But here's the thing about that. You can't, because Boruto is a little whiny piece of crap. He also does not work for what his powers are, and even Sasuke says it. Because, like, spoilers, I'm about to spoil some deep crap. Okay, so, Boruto, in his own movie, he's like, I can't master Rasengan in a day. Sasuke's like, oh well, and you know what he goes and does? Cheats. Sasuke's like, I can see you cheating clearly, but I'm going to train you anyways because you're an a-hole. I just want to mess with your dad. And he goes to Naruto and is like, Naruto, your kid's a little piece of garbage. And then he's like you, Naruto, and Naruto's like, really? I think he's more like you, Sasuke. And Sasuke's like, are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure your little piece of garbage son is more like you. And then Sasuke was implying the piece of garbage stuff because you could hear it in his voice, but he didn't say it outright because he wanted Naruto to find out himself. And you know what Sasuke ends up letting Boruto do? Because he just wants to see Naruto find out for himself, lets him cheat throughout the Chunin exams. Like, Boruto is so bad that he can't beat Shikamaru's lazy son, who all he does is sit and play video games all day. Do you know how?
Somebody posted a video on YouTube where it was like Boruto is so pussyfied compared to part 1 Naruto, and they used like examples from the Chunin exams where like the second stage of the original Chunin exams was the force of death and people were dying and crazy stuff was going on, and the second part of the Chunin exams is Boruto is just capture the flag.
Yes. I'm pretty sure it's because Naruto's Hokage.
We have to keep in mind these guys.
Because Hokage has control over what happens in the Chunin exams. And I guess third Hokage is a total dick because he just let children fight in the forest of death and they can get eaten by giant snakes and crap. Can we just talk about old dude? Maybe he was going senile and forgot how bad the forest of death was. Anyways. No, I remember why they used the Force of Death. It's because so many people had passed the test in the first round. That's why they used the Force of Death. Because they needed people to fail.
The Chunin exams, they said that the Chunin exams were made to keep balance between the different nations.
Yes.
But how does that make sense when the Hokage runs it?
Okay. The Hokage and Kazekage run it in specific. And I'm pretty sure Naruto and Gaara probably sat down and had this conversation. Remember how mucked up the last Chunin exams we were both at was? And Gaara's like, yeah, Sasuke tried to stab me through the heart. And you turned into a giant fox thing with that giant frog and tried to chop my head off. And Naruto's like, yeah, I know it was some crazy crap, right?
Meanwhile, in Boruto, this dude throws a shot at that guy's bubble gum and it explodes and the guy loses.
Yes. You know what that reminds me of? When that Sound Ninja guy was like, I'm gonna one-shot you, Choji, and Choji's like, you're not gonna one-shot me. One-shots Choji. And then he was like, I'm gonna kill you, Gaara, and Gaara's like, you're not gonna kill me. He's like, please, did you see what I did to that fat kid? And then Gaara kills him.
Wait, hold on a second, because Kiyoya is having trouble with his mic. That's why he left, and I just wanted see if he could talk now. So
okay,
to make sure everything's good. So is everything good with you, Kiyoya? I guess
it's because we're talking about Naruto and the call really doesn't want him to enter the conversation. It's happening. It's because he has an Obito profile picture. That's what's happening. That's what really is going on.
I always find it funny if so spoilers if you're not cut out with One Piece at all, but like Sabo when Sabo came back to life, and not came back to life, but when he was revealed to be alive and he met Luffy again, I was like, wouldn't it be the funniest thing if he just like turned on Luffy and then he was like, it's because you let Ace die.
Just no, he punches a fire hole through Luffy's chest.
This is because you let Ace die.
He's like, does the wound seem familiar?
No, he just punches a hole in his own chest and he's like, see, I have no heart.
No, he's got to do the Obito meme where he just points to it. Oh my god. Oh, long-running shonen have a lot of memes. Oh my goodness.
That's because long-running shonen are ridiculous.
Have you seen all the cuts of just the facial expressions Ichigo has made through Bleach?
Yeah.
It's really funny because Ichigo makes the facial expressions of like, that's bullcrap, or that's a load of garbage, or that doesn't even make sense, or how are you not dead, or what the heck is going on?
So Kyoya just called us cocks.
Oh.
He said JK, but I'm assuming it was because we were talking that mad garbo about him, as kids in my school would say.
So there's a line in the Bleach manga in the background. If you're reading what Tatsuki is saying in the background, Tatsuki went to the Japan Regional Martial Arts Tournament with a broken arm and still got second place.
Impressive.
And she only lost because the giant. She's like she's pretty sure that the first place winner was a man. She's pretty sure because it was all girls, but she's pretty sure it was a dude.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I wanted to cover a topic where I wanted to ask you guys like what you guys thought were some of the biggest missed opportunities in shonen manga or shonen jump manga, I should say.
Biggest missed opportunities. Because this is still on topic. Because our topics today are purely Shonen Jump editorial mistakes, and because there's a lot, and Fire Emblem if Kellen joined. Only if Kellen joined, because I will have Alex on my side and he will drown in just facts. So, anyways.
Oh, my friend Anthony even prefers Awakening over Fate. But let's get back on topic.
Yes. Okay.
I personally think that probably the biggest missed opportunity in Shonen is not killing Naruto at the end of Naruto Part 1. Because it was clear that he wanted to write about Sasuke anyways.
That is true. Well, here's the thing, because, like I say, I've said it all a ton of times, but he does say that Sasuke is his favorite character to draw. So, like, at the very beginning of the manga, he says that in, like, one of the little, like, in between chapters how they do, like, question and A's, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? He says it about Sasuke in the beginning, like in Volume 1. He's just like, oh yeah, Sasuke is one of my favorite characters to draw, right? And I'm like, that probably means Sasuke will just become forever relevant because he likes drawing him. And that is exactly what happened.
That's not necessarily true because Akira Toriyama's favorite character in Dragon Ball Z is Piccolo, and Piccolo gets the shaft.
Don't you mean Jacko the Space Patrolman? That's his favorite character ever. It is, though. He's super relevant in the universe.
Jacko,
Okay, yeah. But post-Jacko, he's super relevant in the arc season, actually. Jacko?
Yeah.
Because, like, if I recall correctly, he's the one who shows them the guy who answers the questions during the Zamasu arc. He's also the one who reveals that Hit is using time skip because Jacko's eyes are so keen that he can see time manipulation.
Yep.
Because, okay, anyone who's confused, mainly Alex, because you don't want Super, there's a scene where a dude is skipping through time and then nudging Vegeta, and Jacko the Space Patrolman looks and he's like...
Just say nudging.
He wasn't edging him. He was literally injecting him with ki. And my friend argued with me that he wasn't, and I was like, dude, that's what the yellow ki bars are for that are going through Vegeta's chest. That is exactly what they are. Okay, anyways, that's off the point. Jacko is staring at the fight, and he's like, yep, that dude is using time skip. And the king and his boss is like, yep, he's using time skip. And Goku's like, the heck is time skip? And he's like, oh, it's like when they go forward in time and just like skip time and crap. And Goku's like, that doesn't help much, but thanks. How did you see that? And he's like, because they're moving he's not moving fast, because if he was moving fast, I'd be able to see him. And I'm like, thank you, Jacko, for being so fast with your eyes that you can see time manipulation. So, yep, that's how much Akira Toriyama likes Jacko the Space Patrolman. Another scene is where he kicks Yamcha and Chaozu out of the Frieza fight, but he keeps Jacko the Space Patrolman there, who can't fly, and he martial arts down like 20 different fighters. That's how much he likes Jacko the Space Patrolman.
I honestly see Jacko as like the Dragon Ball Z equivalent to Deadpool. He
is a parody character, most definitely, and he's very lovable. But he's not as balls to the wall as Deadpool is. No,
but I'm just saying. I
get what you're saying.
Because he's honestly just a troll.
Yes. I honestly want Goku, Jacko, and Arali to meet in the same place, at the same time, because I would love to see what Jacko says about Arali.
Remember how
we have to go back to missed topics, Lucas. So Alex, I know Alex is a big fanatic of Killing Naruto Part 1. I would have also liked to see how that went, but I would have liked that. What I would like now is, you know how comics do Elseworld stories? I would have liked to see Kishimoto do an Elseworld story.
Okay.
That would be my solution to that.
Of Sasuke killing Naruto?
Naruto. And just seeing how things go downhill from there.
I don't think anybody would read that shit.
Here's the thing. If Sasuke killed Naruto, no one would want to redeem Sasuke.
It's true.
Because Naruto is the only reason.
Have to do it on purpose.
Yes, I know, but here's the thing. After Sasuke betrayed them already, no one wanted to redeem him. The only reason Shikamaru, Neji, Rock Lee cared because he still wanted to rematch with Sasuke. I'm gonna be real.
Oh.
But the reason Neji and Shikamaru and Shoji cared because Shikamaru cared. Shikamaru cared because Naruto cared. Neji cared because Naruto cared. Right? After that, none of them really have attachments to Sasuke. Sasuke's only friend was Sasuke's hand, and that's because it did hand signs.
But I thought you were going somewhere completely different with that.
No. I'm glad you did, though, because that makes it better. But tell me I'm wrong, though. Tell me that I'm wrong with that statement that his only friend wears hands is because he can do hand signs. I'm pretty sure. Because, okay, hear me out. He drops all hand signs when he can, because when he learns how to do Chidori without hand signs, he immediately stops.
Yep.
Hand signs become a thing of the past by the end of Naruto, though.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
At the beginning of
Naruto, after part 1, is just like, how can we break the rules that we established?
I remember when remember when Haku was doing one-handed hand signs? And Kakashi's like, that's an extremely advanced technique. How did he learn that? He's only 15. And then Naruto's like, you can do stuff with one hand. And Sasuke's like, that's bullcrap. And then, Haku's like wrecking Sasuke. Right? And then, one-handed became, a thing. And then Chidori used to take 5 hand signs, and it took 3, and then it took 1, and then it took 0. And then it was okay.
It's funny because when Hiruzen was brought back, everybody was so hyped because he was like, "Yo," everybody was like, "Yo, Hiruzen's so old school because he's over here in the 4th grade ninja war, the last arc of Naruto Shippuden, doing hand signs and throwing giant shuriken." No, nobody shurikens and hand signs aren't a thing in Naruto anymore.
I like how the 1st and 2nd Hokage just summon trees and water by doing one thing with their hands. And I was like, suck it. And poor 3rd Hokage is throwing oil and then like casting fireballs because he's got to still do hand signs and setup for third Hokage.
I always find this almost like a plot hole, but like, remember when Kakuzu said that he's fought with the first Hokage?
Yes.
I was like, how did he not immediately die?
I don't know. Because the first Hokage, because like at the beginning they're like, oh yeah, first Hokage was like equal to the third Hokage, and then by the end they're like, not really. The first Hokage was broken as garbage, lying to you the whole time.
I mean, this dude made 100. No, was it 1,000? I think it was 1,000 hand Buddha, and he's just punching mountains away and stuff.
Yes.
Like Kakuzu's best feat is like blowing up a tree.
He probably meant he fought the first Hokage when he was a teenager, like not when he was fighting Madara stuff, but probably like when they were both teenagers, and then Kakuzu probably ran away like a little wimp because he got scared. That's probably what Kakuzu really means. Anyways,
they never address that at all. Like I would think that they would have had some kind of flashback when they were showing Hashiro's backstory that showed him fighting Kakuzu, but they just didn't.
It's because no one cared about Akatsuki members that weren't Itachi. Remember how Kisame got the shaft so hard after Itachi died? Everything Kisame did just resulted in him getting beat up.
He was suppressed after Itachi died.
Yeah.
He was basically the fan base as a Naruto character.
Okay, so for me, my biggest missed opportunity. All right, let's see. I gotta think. I don't know if that's count as biggest. Oh, okay. Biggest missed shonen opportunity. Okay. Not showing the fight between Jaded and Pharaoh. What the crap, guys? And I was gonna. We don't know if he lost that because it's not real Pharaoh. It's just Yugi. And Yugi has lost before. That's the whole thing.
So that's Pharaoh.
And yeah, but that's because they pulled some hardcore shenanigans to mess with Pharaoh. Have you seen the newest movie?
Well, Pharaoh basically. Well, yeah, but let me just say that Pharaoh basically cheats every duel. So
I told you that Pharaoh is low-key a reality manipulator. He has to be, right? Because he just pulls cards that don't exist until he pulls them.
Not to mention that after he's done cheating and beating you, he then destroys your brain. So
yes, he only starts to feel bad when he sees what happens to people. Because remember, he was fighting that one guy who was cheating, and then he got sawed in half or some crap. Almost got sawed in half, and then he was like, "Oh no!" And that was because he could see it happening. Okay, so this is what would have been the alternative things I would have said. All right, so for Bleach, I would have personally maybe make it so that like maybe Orihime. I probably would have removed the Orihime being kidnapped part. Because, like, it gives Ichigo a motive to go to Aizen's world, but the fact that Aizen was going to blow up his city probably would have been enough motivation for Ichigo to go there anyways.
yeah.
Right? So I think I would have removed the kidnapping of Orihime, and if you remove that, everyone would have shut the crap up about it being a ripoff of the Soul Society arc, because they would have forgotten that, oh, it's just fights, because everything after that is just fights, right? Actually has really good fights. One of my favorite fights in that is like Shuhei versus the Fraction.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Shuhei is the most developed lieutenant besides Renji and Rukia, because Shuhei has a character arc. Because at the beginning how he has like no character development, and in the Arrancar saga they're like, oh yeah, well his master became evil, and then blah 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 blah. He has a resolved character arc for the end of the Arrancar saga, and he's like one of 3 people to have one, because he kills his master by impaling him through the head, and saying, if you were still blind, you would have seen that coming. My other one for One Piece would have been, I think I would have had One Piece stay away from the Grand Line a little longer.
Ooh.
I think, hear me out here. I would have had them stay within the Grand Line a little longer, because after the Grand Line, they start collecting less members, right? And I really like I really like the oh, here's a character, here's their arc, part of One Piece.
Yeah.
Because it was like consistently the same pace.
Yeah.
But then when they go to the Grand Line, the pace gets screwed up in the anime because they go really fast and they go really slow, and then they go really, really slow, and then they'll go really, really fast, and then they'll get painfully slow. Which is why I think they should have just like maybe lengthened out the before Grand Line stuff, because it's easy to make filler episodes when you're on an island that isn't in the Grand Line.
It's true.
Because the Grand Line is so weird, and you have to have special equipment to even travel through the Grand Line. But for Jaden versus Yugi, I would have liked to seen that duel, mainly because that was the duel they were hyping up since the beginning of the series, and that just didn't happen. Also, no, I take that back. Make Kaiba win every single duel he ever fought Yugi in. There you go. That's the biggest missed opportunity in Shonen. Good night, folks.
So Kiyoya said the biggest missed opportunity anime is having no Ben 10 and Danny Phantom crossover.
Ben 10 would win.
Oh, Ben 10 destroys Danny Phantom.
Even Kid Ben 10, because Ghost Freak is a more powerful ghost than Danny ever was. And Ghost Freak is an alien. That's the worst part. He's not even a real ghost.
No, but I think I wanted to respond to what you said about the whole Orihime being kidnapped thing. I think Ichigo would have been a cooler character if, because you know how the head captain basically told him not to go to what was it?
Not to go to the not to go to the Hueco Mundo. Not to go to Hueco Mundo.
Yeah. If Ichigo would have been like without the Orihime thing, if he on his own would have just said, you know what, fuck that, I have to take out this guy because he's probably gonna destroy everybody I care about, I think that would have been cooler than like.
It would have been cooler.
Yeah.
It would have been. So, but here's the thing. So people like, it's a plot hole that they fought the Iran cars, right? Here's the thing about that, though. They're forgetting the visors are a thing. So when head captain goes, we don't have enough men to do that, he's not counting the visors. No one was counting the visors. The visors weren't counting the visors. Because they're like, yeah, the Soul Society can't stand up to it. They were not counting themselves when like Shinji says something like that. Right? Because Shinji wanted nothing to do with fighting the Iran cars. They only wanted to kill Aizen. But they jump in anyways because the Soul Society is getting wrecked. Except for Head Captain, because Head Captain's like, screw all of you, I'm OP. That was the whole thing with Head Captain's entrance in that whole arc. Because, like, even when Head Captain's been blown up, he still is, like, one of 3 people to injure Aizen. So, right? Alright, so, yeah, like, that's a plot hole that doesn't actually exist. It's just that no one counts the freaking visors. They're broken. They're like one of the few races that has an actual revealed multiplier of like 2.5 for the mask. That's OP.
What was I gonna say? I think one of the missed opportunities in Bleach was because they were basically setting up, or that's what it seemed like in the Fullbring arc. It seemed like they were setting up for Karin to have like become a Soul Reaper and everything, and kind of like. Not replace Go, but like be like the next substitute Soul Reaper and everything, and it just never happened.
Here's the thing about that. Kubo has wanted to write about the girls in Bleach for a while. Because when he first was writing Bleach, it was going to be about Rukia. Ichigo didn't even exist. Ichigo and his family were not a thing. And then his editor said, before he even got approved, they were like, no, make it about a dude, and that's why he created Ichigo and his family. And then in the original, and then like in the early drafts of even that, Ichigo wasn't going to be a substitute. So wasn't going to be a substitute Soul Reaper. It was going to be a regular one.
Yeah. And
he was going to fall in love with Orihime, which is a girl he saved randomly on a mission with Rukia. That was going to be the other version of the story.
Rukia being the main character probably would have been better because she has more to her to her character than Ichigo does when it comes to like her backstory and like all the stuff she's had to deal with.
That's because she's lived for 150 years.
That's true.
Basically, like, I know why people complain about Bleach. Like, there are flaws, but they complain about certain things that don't exist necessarily. They saw one video and were like, yeah, that's a plot hole. And I'm like, no, one video does not prove a plot hole. Please stop. Because, like, it's kind of like saying, well, why don't the Marines use piercing bullets in One Piece if they have, like, every sort of form of technology, including talking snails? It's not really a plot hole. That's just how the world is. Please shut up. Oh, it'd be really hilarious, though, if they started using piercing rounds against Luffy. Like, early on. And Luffy was just like, well, rip me, I guess.
I don't think my biggest thing with One Piece is why they don't use sea stone bullets more often.
I know. Because remember when it gets introduced in, like, when he's fighting, like, what's his face? The sand guy. Because Smoker has one, right? During that arc. And he's like, oh yeah, you're weak against it. And Luffy's like, that's bullcrap. And, like, Luffy is useless, and the only one useful on that whole team is Zoro because Sanji's not good at that point in the series yet. Sanji's, I don't know, he just wasn't good at that point in the series. He wasn't that strong. Even though they're like, oh yeah, he's equal to Zoro, even though I feel like Zoro would just chop his legs off. But that's just me. So, like, if they did that more often, I think it might have actually been a better thing for Luffy to be able to rely on Zoro.
That's true.
Because there's a lot of, like, because the OP ones have Sea Stone, right? So meaning that leaves Nami, and then, like, well, let's just keep it early. So it leaves Nami, Usopp, and Zoro, right? Just early One Piece, right? So that might have been better for forging, like, the bonds of friendship that they spew on about sometimes, but not nearly as much as Fairy Tail, because One Piece is less bullcrap than Fairy Tail. That's not hard. Not hard at all. I think that could have added better character dynamics if they did use Sea Stone bullets more, like you said. Because Zoro's, like, super useful because he's freaking Zoro. Like, he's got the rule of cool factor in One Piece, which is not common because a lot of characters are wacky.
Even Zoro's wacky to an extent, though.
Yeah, but Zoro's funny.
That old thing where he gets, like, lost all the time.
I have that same problem as Zoro. I actually physically relate to that part of Zoro. Okay. I told Alex, but Alex, remember when I got lost in Final Fantasy 13?
When?
I told you that, like, in the middle of the call, I got lost.
In the very beginning?
No, I got lost in the, like, on the way down when you're just with Hope and Lightning because the camera had spun 3 times to fight. And after I gotten stuck fighting 3 different times, I didn't know which direction I was supposed to be going. I was tired, and I was like, whoops, and then Hope had walked the other way, and I was like, the heck did Hope go? And I look at the map, and he's been trying to go to the next cutscene for, like, the last 10 minutes, and I was like, whoopsies. And I just went back, and I was like, oh, man, I pulled a Zoro. Whoopsies there. Like, because it's very easy to disorient me with directions. And when cameras spin, I hate it, because it messes with my eyes, because I think I do have a problem with my eyes with moving objects. Because, like, if there's, like, too many moving things on a screen, my eyes just, like, kill themselves. It's made taking tests hard sometimes with small print. Like, I have perfect eyesight, but it's just, like, when there's a lot of things on something, my eyes are just like, no. And they can't focus. So, yeah, I relate to that aspect of Zoro.
I also like how Zoro just is probably the coolest character in One Piece just because he always bleeds out nearly every fight, but he still stands like a badass.
One of my favorite scenes with Zoro is when
one of like the 3 decent characters in One Piece.
My favorite thing Zoro ever did is when in Skypiea he's in the water, he can't cut the shark, so he punches the shark. And then Nami's like, did you just punch a shark? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, but you have 3 swords. And he's like, I couldn't cut it. It was under freaking water. It was a shark. And she's like, but you punched it? And he's like, shut up. It's done.
I think,
Can we talk?
and Kellen tried to have this argument with me. I love One Piece, but I don't think character development is Oda's strong point, because I try to argue that Dragon Ball Z has better characters when it comes to the main cast than One Piece, and
Okay.
he's like, nah, fam, nah.
Okay, here's the thing. Luffy and Goku are comparable, but I think Goku has developed more than
Yeah.
Luffy in some respects, and Luffy in others. But I do think Goku probably is, I want to say, more accessible as a main character than Luffy, because Goku smartens up a lot more frequently than Luffy does. Because
Goku, I think people, at least when it comes to Z, I don't really count Super that much when I'm talking about, because I usually talk about original Dragon Ball.
Mhm.
Just disregard Super.
Super makes Goku act like Kid Goku. That's the thing.
No, but I think Goku, as far as Z goes, is basically, I don't want to say underrated as a character, because that's not true. But he's actually more well written than people give him credit for. I mean,
in Cell Saga, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm trying to agree with you. In Z and Cell Saga, that was probably some of the best writing for Goku that we got.
Yeah. And even before that, he had character development, because if you remember, when it was first revealed that Goku was an alien, he basically said, oh, no, I'm an Earthling. I'm from Earth. I'm not like you. I'm not a Saiyan, whatever. And then when Vegeta gets killed in the Namek Saga, he's like, oh, I wanted to share that same pride with Vegeta or whatever. And like he finally accepted his heritage as a Saiyan. And it even goes further, where he gives that whole speech about how he's a Super Saiyan, when just before that, like a couple, like I want to say like 20 or 30 chapters before that, he was like, I don't even care what a Super Saiyan is or whatever. I'm an Earthling. I'll never be like you, Vegeta. And then he ends up having not as much pride as Vegeta, but pride in his heritage. Heritage and who he is. And I think that's a good character development for him.
The what I would argue is the pinnacle. Not to cut you off, Alex, but the pinnacle of when Goku comes full circle is when he's fighting Great Ape Vegeta, and he has the realization that, oh my god, I killed Grandpa Gohan.
Yeah.
That, I think, was the best Goku moment I've seen, because in that scene, everything that culminated in Dragon Ball just flashed before Goku's eyes, and he says, I killed the man I loved. He was my grandpa. Oh my god. Because he loved Grandpa Gohan. Grandpa Gohan raised him for like 10 years, and that was his life before he died.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was the scene I'd use. What were you going to say, Alex?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought I heard you saying, somewhere in there. Okay.
No.
Yeah, so I think Goku, like, people don't think he's well written or he's one dimensional, but I think he does have a good character development. I mean, it's not as good as Piccolo or Vegeta or Gohan or even Future Trunks, but it's still good for him. I think.
Mm-hmm. So you see the thing with I think that Akira Toriyama doesn't like using Tien and Yamcha in stories. He likes using Krillin, but I don't think he likes using Tien and Yamcha that much.
Yeah.
So what he does is he has Yamcha KO'd, and then he has Tien KO'd because he used Kikoho. And he's like, there, I removed 2 of the humans I don't like writing about from the equation. Now I can focus on why Krillin's the best human, which is bullcrap. Now I can focus on why Krillin's the best human. Because like, even the only time Krillin ever got stronger than Tien was when he had his potential unleashed. But then it's like Tien probably surpassed him immediately after because we see him Kikoho Cell. When Krillin's Destructo Disc, which would have killed Nappa, just dissipates.
That's an anime only scene. The Destructo
It is?
Disc.
With Cell or with Nappa?
With Cell.
Vegeta's okay.
With Cell. Because how the Kienzan work is it's supposed to be able to cut through anything.
Okay.
And that scene is in the manga, so.
Yeah, but the special beam cannon is supposed to be able to one-shot everything. It doesn't Piccolo pimp slap that in the freaking fight versus Cell. Because keep in mind,
that's why in when he fought Frieza, he was able to cut his tail despite Frieza being way stronger than him. That's how broken the Kienzan is.
But like special beam cannon is stronger than just Gods of Destruction Ki Blasts. They reveal that in Super. When Champa sees how powerful the special beam cannon is, he almost craps his pants. Because he does a ki barrage against the dome to make sure it doesn't break. Piccolo one-shots the dome with special beam cannon.
That's because I think special beam cannon multiplies your ki by 3 or 4.
It's to the point where I think if he uses special beam cannon, he becomes one of the strongest things in Universe 7, if I recall correctly.
Because when he fought Raditz, he was at a level of 400, and I think it was 412 or 400.
It was 1,400. He got 1,400. Oh, base form? Yeah.
When you take off the weight clothes, and then when you use the special beam cannon, it shot up to 1,000 or whatever. So that's a high multiplier.
Yes. So also, you know how Piccolo knows the multiform technique? Can we talk about how he mastered it, got over the weakness, and didn't tell Tien? Because in his fight versus Frost, he uses it, and his clones aren't garbage because he doesn't split his power up anymore. And we're just like, so Piccolo, you gonna tell Krillin and Tien how to do that so they're not useless with that technique? No? Okay, Piccolo. Thanks, Piccolo. Oh, are you gonna tell Gohan that technique? No? Are you gonna teach him the special beam cannon, Piccolo? No? Oh, thank you, Piccolo. Are you teach him Hellzone Grenade, Piccolo? No? You're just gonna teach him Masenko?
He even has a cool name.
Yes.
No, but the whole thing of because a lot of people used to claim that Master Roshi can solo the Narutoverse before Super, even before Super.
Yeah, I know.
Master Roshi can he's a move buster. And because I know some people used to do power level videos, and they were Naruto can't be above 150 because Master Roshi's 150 and Master Roshi's a move buster. And then, but I had to point out but you don't realize that that certain key attacks amp up your power level. That was Master Roshi's 150 power level is his base power level. So, but disregarding that, he has one move that's moon busting, and he has to charge it up for ages. And I'm he's no Naruto character is gonna just sit there and watch him charge up his moon busting attack and then get hit with it.
What are they talking about? Naruto just has to use harem jutsu and he wins.
It's true.
Okay, with that, Alex, I think we should probably end Anichat because we've gone off on a tangent.
Yeah.
All right, this has been Anichat. With me today, I have Gil.
Yo!
And I have Ruckus.
Yo! I just copied you because I didn't know what to say.
That's an anime phrase, English.
Showed up for a while.
Yep.
Kyoyo's picture was there, so he was with us in spirit.
Alex, we should do power level videos. Alex, let's do this.
I'd be so down for that, actually. I I'm not even joking. I had a YouTube channel where I used to do power level videos.
No, but the reason I'm inviting Alex in specific is just so you can say that's bullcrap. At the end of every video, I just need Alex to say that. Like, we'll like have like a 12-minute video of me and Lucas explaining things, and then Alex at the end saying that's bullcrap, and then it'll cut to credits, and that's it. It's the whole video every time.
I'm gonna level with you. DBZ doesn't even follow its power level system, so
it doesn't. That's the whole thing. That's why I always say it's DBZ. Who cares? That's the phrase that we should all live by. It's DBZ. Who cares? Let's be real. The fans care way too much. Like, I give serious explanations for everything. That's because I think it's fun. The DBZ fans don't think this is a game. And I'm like, they'll be playing Xenoverse and talk about power levels, and they're like, you think this is a game? And I'm like, yes. I paid like $40 for this game in specific. I have it's a PS4 game. I mean, yeah, so we off the air.
And this has been Anichat. And with that,